Hi and welcome everyone to Roo Hammer's weekly NRL round review. This week we're going to take a quick look at the results from round 25. Before we get started, I invite you all to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to show your support for the content that we create. Subscribing to the channel puts you in the draw to win some exclusive Roo Hammer merch, so click that subscribe button now. Rob, round 25, mate, some important results in terms of the NRL ladder. Let's take a look, shall we?
Yeah, huge. Yeah, round 25 kicked off Thursday night at Queensland Country Bank Stadium with the Cowboys fresh off the bye taking on the Sharks. Both teams honouring the late Paul Green, with both teams led out by Paul Green's children. And it was the Sharks who came with a crucial 32-12 victory to keep their top four aspirations well and truly alive. The Sharks 32, Mulatalo, Hazelton, Hunt, Graham, Hines tries. Hines 6 from 6. Cowboys 12, Drinkwater and Semi Bellamy with the tries. Drinkwater 2 from 2. And Cowboys powerhouse Jason Taumalolo played his milestone 250th NRL game. But it was to be a celebratory night for him. But it wasn't to be, I should say, a celebratory night for him, with his Cowboys unable to get the job done against the determined Sharks outfit. And the beginning of the match saw an even contest play out, both sides trading sets and tries. But new Cronulla halves pairing Nico Hines and Braden Trindle proved the difference in the end with their kicking game and game management a class above in Townsville. The Sharks, they led 18-12 at the break, and then the arm wrestle continued early into the second half with both teams trading sets. Before the Sharks, they extended their lead to 24-12, and that was through departing skipper Wade Graham. He scored his second try in as many matches. He pounced on a perfectly weighted Hines grubber in goal. And then come the 72nd minute, and Hines put the game out of reach for the Cowboys, showing off some classy footwork to stretch the visitors' lead to ensure a Sharks victory. Fullback Connor Tracy was immense in attack for the Sharks, 248 metres off 25 runs. Tracy also took home the Paul Green medal as the player of the match. And Cowboys forward James Tamo announced that he will retire at the end of the season.
Yeah, great to see Paul Green honoured and remembered in such a way. Congratulations to Connor Tracy for winning the Paul Green medal, and congratulations to James Tamo on a wonderful NRL career. 308 NRL games for the Cowboys, Panthers and Tigers, 14 origins for New South Wales and 12 tests for the Kangaroo. He has been a great servant of the game, so we wish him well in his retirement. On to Friday night footy, and as usual, there were two games played, with the first game played at Go Media Mount Smart Stadium, which was renamed Daniel Anderson Stadium for the evening, with the Warriors honouring their former coach, helping raise some much-needed funds for his recovery and medical expenses since his accident in January. The Warriors took on a desperate Sea Eagles side. The Warriors looking to extend their 5-game winning streak, and they did it. But they did it in a scrappy affair, 29-22. For the Warriors, 29, Wenteni Zelezniak with a hat-trick. Harris, Niokore tries. Pompey, 4 from 5 goals, and Sean Johnson with a field goal. Over the Sea Eagles, 22. Jason Saab, a hat-trick. Jacob Arthur, a try. Ruben Garrick, 3 from 4 goals. And for the first time in 21 years, mate, the Warriors have won 6 games in a row. After a Dallin Wenteni Zelezniak hat-trick helped them overcome a desperate Sea Eagles side, 29-22. In front of over 24,000 fans, the home side were forced to overcome a 22-16 deficit at the halftime break to earn a victory which ensures them that they will remain in third heading into round 26, and probably all but assures them of a top 4 finish in the regular season as well, which is bizarre, really, when you think about how the Warriors were last year and what everyone's expectations were. Yeah, absolutely. Earlier in this game, both sides went on first half runs, which saw them score 16 unanswered points each, but with Manly edging out an advantage thanks to Jason Saab's hat-trick and an earlier Jake Arthur strike. The Sea Eagles were ultimately left to rue a series of missed opportunities late in the game, with a defeat all but ending their hopes of playing finals in 2023. We're going to do a full review of this game tomorrow night, right here on our YouTube channel at 7:30. Make sure you tune into that, because we'll also be chatting live with Warrior 171 Nathan Friend. So really looking forward to that.
Yes, absolutely. Tune in then for a great chat. The second of the Friday night games was the Eels at home at the CommBank Stadium, taking on the Roosters. Both teams looking to keep their slim finals chances alive, and it was the Roosters who got the all-important victory, 34 points to 12. The Roosters 34, Tedesco with a double, Suali'i with a double, Wong and Butcher tries. Suat-Li'i 5 from 6. Over the Eels, 12. Cartwright and Gutherson tries. Gutho 2 from 2. The Roosters, they overcame the loss of two of their leaders, and they outscored the Eels 34-12, and they kept their finals hopes alive, amazingly. Prop Jared Warrior-Hargraves was a late withdrawal before the match due to an acute neck pain. But in big news, Captain James Tedesco left the game midway through the second half for HIA, with the head knock later deemed to be Category 1 by the independent doctor, which rules him out for next week's crucial match against the Tigers, as they all are for the Roosters at the moment.
Yep.
The Eels were always going to do it tough without their chief playmaker, Mitchell Moses, who suffered a facial fracture last week. Parramatta scored the first try of the match, but the Roosters were able to soak up more pressure before returning fire, going bang, 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 with 3 unanswered tries close to close out the first half. The Roosters then extended their lead after halftime, and despite Parramatta also getting their second try of the night not long after, the Roosters added 2 more of their own, and they closed out the game, and in doing so, effectively ended Parramatta's season.
Yep. The Eels are the first grand final side since the 2018 Cowboys to not make the finals the following year after appearing in a grand final. So, yeah, it's a big fall from grace for the Eels.
For sure.
Okay, on to Super Saturday, mate. Kicked off at CommBank Stadium. Again, back-to-back games at CommBank Stadium with the Tigers at home against the Dolphins. And it was the Tigers with a thrilling win. Tigers 24. Pole, Kapoa, Seafath, Simpkins tries. Arpi Coruscant 4 from 5 goals over the Dolphins 23. Asako, Aitken, Bostock, Trey Fuller tries. Asako 3 from 5 goals and a field goal. But it was a 30-metre sideline penalty goal from Arpi Coruscant that hit the crossbar and then went over that helped the West Tigers snap a 10-game losing streak to beat the Dolphins 24-23.
Loved it. Loved it.
Absolutely.
It was great.
It was. In a seesawing contest that built up to an even scoreline in the final stages, a Jermaine Asako field goal with 4 minutes remaining appeared to give the Dolphins victory before Coruscant stepped up and provided a short kickoff to get the ball back. When Asako and Tessie New were penalised for taking Junior Tupou into touch, it was Coruscant who put his hand up to take the unlikeliest of penalty goals from out wide. It was like a 40-metre effort from the 30-metre line with that trajectory.
I thought he was no chance. I thought he was absolutely no chance.
I think the only person that thought he may have a chance was Uppy himself. His strike curved in, hit the crossbar and bounced over in a result that pretty much summed up the Appy's performance after he switched to the halves following the withdrawal of Luke Brooks to a calf injury. This was the first time both sides had met in the NRL, despite 24 rounds already taking place in the competition. Tigers legend Benji Marshall coached in his first official game after taking over from Tim Sheens during the week. And the rookie coach took on his former mentor, Wayne Bennett, in this one. The teams traded tries back and forth to keep the game a close contest, with neither team really stamping their authority on the game. The Dolphins, they've completed their inaugural season with a 4-8 record in away matches this year and have now lost all 3 games that they've played in Sydney. So they're going to be like the Broncos. They're going to hate coming to Sydney.
Yeah.
For the West Tigers, the win was their first in 5 attempts at CommBank Stadium. And I'll just get your thoughts on something, mate. I saw Luke Brooks, even though he didn't play, he was presented with a gift from the Tigers club for his service to the club. What did you make of the Weber barbecue that he was given?
Look, of all the things to get, look, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with barbecue. I love a good barbecue. But of all the gifts to get in your final game for a club that you've been at for a decade, a barbecue? Seriously, I really don't understand that. I guess over his career, he has copped a grilling. So it might have been an ironic gift from the club.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said to you that they should have got him something he's never had before, semi-final tickets.
Zing. Yeah, that's just a bit of a head scratcher. And the fact that they actually took the effort to wheel it out onto the field and say, "Here you go, champ."
He looked happy, didn't he? He looked happy.
Yeah. He's looking forward to getting a bit of brisket on there. So
yeah.
Yep. Oh, good luck to Brooksy.
Yes.
Yeah. Second of the Super Saturday games, saw the Titans at home against the reigning premiers, the Panthers, and the Panthers were resting a few of their stars. Although Ivan was adamant that they were injured, and the Titans giving young halfback Tom Weaver his NRL debut. The Panthers, they got the result 40 points to 14 against a gritty Titans side who did play well for about 60 minutes of that game. And they made it difficult for the Panthers, but in the end, the final score did blow out a bit. The Panthers 40, Edwards with a double, Yo, Peachy, Jenkins, Martin, and Crichton tries, Cleary 6 from 7. Titans 14, Haas, Khan Pereira, and Fafita tries, Campbell 1 from 3. And the Panthers, they looked under threat midway through the second half when the Titans ran in 2 tries to narrow a 22-6 halftime deficit before premiership-winning stars Nathan Cleary and Dylan Edwards and Stephen Crichton took control of the game and showed their class. A double to Edwards and a try assist through Cleary and Crichton fended off any thought the Titans had of a comeback when after Khan Pereira and David Fafita, they'd crossed after halftime. So Cleary and Crichton set up 2 tries each, while Liam Martin produced an outstanding effort in the air to grab the side's 6th try of the evening and ensure the Panthers kept their minor premiership chances intact with 2 home games left. A suspected knee injury for Jaden Campbell put a dent on the Titans' momentum, with Phil Sami also failing to finish the game. Panthers forward James Fisher-Harris was placed on report for a hip drop tackle, but due to being a Panthers player, he has avoided suspension and will only receive a fine because we cannot punish the fans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a fucking joke. Everyone else that's done a hip drop this year has copped a 1-week suspension. Not a Panthers player. Oh, well. The final Super Saturday game saw the Dragons at home at Wynn Stadium hosting the Melbourne Storm. And despite putting up a brave performance, which saw the lead change several stages of the game, the Dragons weren't able to hold out a fast-finishing Storm outfit. The Storm with a 38-28 victory. The Storm's 38, Will Warbrick with a hat-trick. Eli Katoa with a double. Coates and Hughes tries, meaning 5 from 8 goals for the Dragons. Their 28 points came from a double to Billy Burns, Sloan, Amone, Ravalawa tries, Hunt 4 from 5 goals. As I said, it was the first half Will Warbrick hat-trick and a double by second row Eli Katoa helped the Storm come from behind to down the Dragons 38-28 and keep their top 4 hopes alive. Melbourne trailed 18-4 before Warbrick crossed for 2 tries and fellow winger Xavier Coates scored in an 8-minute period before halftime. And they again had to come from behind in the second term. Kiwis halfback Jerome Hughes scored a try and produced 3 try assists to help steer the Storm home and enable them to leapfrog the Sharks into 4th place, while the Dragons still remain in danger of finishing with a wooden spoon. The Storm completed all 19 sets of possession in a statistically perfect first half and finished the game with 36 completions from 41 sets. Michaeli Ravalawa, he's scored 9 tries in his past 7 games to take his season tally to 20, which is the most by a Dragons player since Brett Morris way back in 2010. Storm fullback Nick Meaney, he chalked up 200 points for the season so far. He's second only to Jermaine Asako with 220.
Interesting. And that brings us to probably one of the games of the season, the most anticipated game this round. Sunday footy kicked off with what was deemed to be a blockbuster game. As we said, the Knights versus the Rabbitohs facing off at McDonald Jones Stadium. The Knights looking to extend their winning streak to 7. Amazing. And they were dealt with a cruel blow with Jackson Hastings. He was ruled out of the game, but it had little effect as they dominated Souths in every department, and they came away with a 29 points to 10 victory. The Knights 29 points, Marzu with a hat-trick. Saifidi, Clune, and Best tries. Geez, an unhappy afternoon for both goal kickers. Ponga 2 from 6, and Clune finished with a field goal. The Rabbitohs 10, Cook and Mitchell tries. Mitchell 1 from 2. The other one he missed from next to the sticks. The Knights, they've made it 7 wins in a row, 7 on the trot, 29-10 over the Rabbitohs in front of a sellout crowd on Sunday. Isn't it great to see so many sellout crowds in the NRL this year? And we know that they love their footy there in Newcastle. And as centre Bradman Best, he charged 60 metres downfield with his tongue wagging the whole way to seal the round 25 victory. And Latrell Mitchell sent to the sin bin in the 79th minute. And the Knights controlled proceedings in a clinical fashion while putting the Rabbitohs' finals hopes in serious jeopardy. With winger Greg Marzu running rampant with the first half hat-trick and fullback Kalen Ponga producing an absolute attacking masterclass, Newcastle recorded their longest winning streak since they went all the way to the premiership in 2001. And Latrell Mitchell was sent to the sin bin and placed on report in the 79th minute for a dangerous contact on Knights forward Tyson Frizzell. The Rabbitohs completed just 8 of 18 sets at 44% in the first half to set the tone for their afternoon. Greg Marju, he had a day out, a number 5 jersey with 240 run meters, 11 tackle breaks, and 3 tries. The Rabbitohs, they retired the number 15 jersey in the match in memory of Premiership winner Kyle Turner, who sadly passed away during the week.
Yeah, very sad to hear of Kyle's passing. He was my next door neighbour in Panania in 2014 and 2015, a real humble kid. Used to have a bit of banter across the back fence with him a couple of times, me being a Warriors supporter, him being a South player. He used to always dangle his premiership ring over the fence. It's the only premiership ring I've ever seen in the flesh. Lovely kid, really down to earth. My sincere condolences to his family. And what's with Latrell Mitchell? Mate, that was just a bonehead play at the end, and he's now copped a 1-game suspension, so he won't be playing with the Rabbits have the bye next week, so he won't play in that crucial round 27 match against the Roosters, which is going to probably determine 8th spot on the ladder.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's got that ridiculous bonehead, brainless play in him, as we saw back in 21, remember?
I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, was he suspended in 21 and that's why he didn't play the grand final?
Missed the grand final, got that suspension for that hit on Joey Manu.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he's got form, hasn't he, Latrell?
Absolutely.
Looks to get really, really loose and with his gameplay when the Rabbits are behind and not performing well. And that just really, I suppose it didn't go down well too, seeing vision of him at the Luke Coombs concert on Wednesday night, shotgunning a beer on stage as well. Not the best preparation when your team's, clinging to the hopes of playing semi-final football. But we're not going to Latrell bash. That's not what we're about. Just making some observations. The final game of round 25, mate, saw the Raiders at home at GIA Stadium against the Bulldogs. Both teams looking to erase the horrors of the previous round, and the Raiders looking to solidify a top 8 spot, and that they did with a 36-24 win over the Bulldogs. The Raiders 36, Matt Timoko a double, Croker, Kotrick, Rapida and Papali'i tries. Croker 6 from 6 goals. Bulldogs 24, Wilson, Kiraz, Sexton and Knight tries, and Burton 4 from 4 goals. And as I said, the Raiders have moved 4 points clear of that chasing pack in the battle for the remaining top 8 sides following their 36-24 win over a stubborn Bulldogs outfit on Sunday afternoon. After an opening 66 minutes in which the gap between two sides was never more than 6 points, Jordan Rapina struck the telling blow with a 4-pointer that sent a wave of relief across GIA Stadium in Canberra before Josh Papali'i put the icing on the cake with a try under the post. Remarkably, the 12-point gap that the Raiders won by is the biggest winning margin that they've had in the whole of 2023. In what was one of their better performances of the year, the Bulldogs simply refused to go away for the first hour, with star recruit Viliami Kikau coming up with several big plays and Jake Averillo putting a strong foot forward from the back. Matt Timoko was one of the Raiders' best with the try-double and 151 run meters, and Raiders veteran Jared Croker scored a personal tally of 16 points in this game with a try and 6 goals to take his career tally to 2,374. Unfortunately, with Hazem El Masri on 2,418, I don't think Jared Croker will score enough points in the final 2 rounds and then that one semi-final game that they'll probably get to play to overtake the great Hazem El Masri and move into second spot behind Cam Smith. But still, a great personal points tally for Jared Croker throughout his career.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a great servant of that club and gets to lift the Ricky Stewart Cup.
Yes.
Again as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Has the Ricky Stewart Cup got spit all over it from his?
Yes, it does.
Right, okay.
It sure does. It's coated in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and with the Broncos having the bye this round, what a great time to have a bye. They must be doing something right. It's 2 rounds of the regular season remaining, and the NRL ladder has taken shape like this at the end of round 25. No change to the top of the table, with only points differential separating the Panthers in first from the Broncos in second. both teams on 40 points. The Warriors continue their winning ways and stay in third place, 4 points behind on 36 points. The Storm move to 34 points and keep hold of fourth spot after a less than impressive performance against the Dragons. And the Sharks are 2 points adrift on fifth on 32 points and still with a chance of a top 4 finish. The Raiders remain in sixth spot, and the Knights put 3 points between themselves in seventh. The Rabbitohs in eighth and look certain to play finals footy. While despite going down to the Knights, the Rabbits are still clinging to that final 8th spot. Just. The Cowboys lost to the Sharks, sees them remain outside the top 8 in 9th place, and the Roosters win over the Eels, sees them move into 10th, and 1 win outside the 8th. Both teams on 28 points. The Eels' finals aspirations are effectively over, following their loss to the Roosters, sitting in 11th on 26 points. Likewise, Manly, following their loss to the Warriors, the Seagulls sitting in 12th on 25 points. And the Titans and Dolphins are on 13th and 14th, both teams on 22. The Bulldogs 15th on 20 points. Dragons 16th on 16 points. And the Tigers win against the Dolphins, sees them only 2 points behind the Dragons, and now with a real chance of being able to avoid that dreaded wooden spoon.
Yeah, I just don't think they will, unfortunately.
Yeah. Just a bridge too far.
Look, if we get the Dragons this week and the Tigers can cause an upset against the Roosters, then, yeah, it's game on. But I just think it's a little bit too far for the Tigers, unfortunately. Okay, as I said, don't forget this week's live show will be on Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time, where we'll be chatting live with Warrior 171 Nathan Friend. So make sure you tune into that chat. And please, if you're a fan of our content, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our streamed content.
Absolutely. And other ways you can show your support of us is to subscribe to our Patreon program. The links of this will be in the video description, or head to our Redbubble store and grab yourself some exclusive Roo Hammer merchandise. We have plenty of designs honouring past legends of our club, current stars, as well as some great novelty prints reliving some memorable moments. And again, the link to that store will also be in our description below and in our bio. Well, that is it for this video, and we will see you all tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night. See you then, guys.
Thank you.